Hi again, everybody. District play begins for Cujo, the JT Lions, and the White House Wildcats coming up on Friday night at 7:30 at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium, and Coach Rickland Holmes is with us. You had a bye week. You made it very clear that it ain't an off week. You worked hard during the off week, but you had a bye week last week, and now you've got district coming up this week. First of all, what'd you do during the bye week?
Made sure that we took care of everything that we done wrong the first 3 games. We focused in on all that, the technical side of playing offense, defense, and special teams, and we made our kids understand everything that we needed to do to take care of those games, and let's move forward.
When you work on stuff, what do you work on during? You don't have. It's not like going back to two-a-days,
No.
in August. But what do you work on? What did you work on during that period of time?
Well, mainly the game plan that we're going to be having going into the White House game, making sure that some of the things that we had in the Plano game, the Longview game, the Lee game, some of that will be used against White House. So we had to make sure that we made the necessary corrections to make sure that we don't make the mistakes that we made in those games against White House on Friday.
District opener, you and I have talked about this many times. You got the non-district part of the schedule, and now you've got this. It's different.
Season 1's over with. Yeah. Season 1's over with. Now we're in season 2, and season 2 is what it's really all about. Season 1 gets you prepared and gets you repped up to go into district play, to go into that second season, so that you can make sure that you have a third season.
You don't make the Johnny Manziel sign, but what do we call district play?
It's money time. It's money time.
Do we do that like Johnny football?
You'll see the kids doing that from time to time.
Do they really?
During the
Okay.
season.
Well, money time is. This is the time now that. Well, first of all, that 0-3 stuff, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Everybody's
right?
0-0 right now.
Everybody's 0-0. That's what's important now.
That's
right?
what's important, because at the end of this game on Friday, there's going to be 4 teams that's going to be 1-0, and there's going to be 4 teams that's going to be 0-1.
And just the urgency now that you ramp up in these district games, because there's 7 of them. It's a sprint to the finish now. Just talk about how much different how different the feel is for a district game as opposed to a non-district ball game.
The importance level, the sense of urgency heightens up a little bit more from what you had during the preseason. Making sure that you understand that, everything can really cost you now. Those first 3 games, the mistakes that we made, they cost us a record, but they didn't cost a position in our district to make a run, either at a district title or make a run at a playoff spot.
And you've played 3 pretty good football teams. You played Longview, you played Plano, you played Robert E. Lee during that non-district. How does that help you now as you look forward to these district ball games?
Well, going against tough competition early makes you find out early about what your team is capable of doing and what they're not capable of doing. So when you go against teams of that type of caliber, where you know that you're going into a competition and it's not going to be easy, it's going to be tough, that gets your mind ready when you get ready to go against competition that either is inferior to yours or way better than yours. So you know how to play the game. Because the game of football is done on the football field. It's not done on the board.
Yeah, I was going to say that there's no way you can replicate that any other way but getting out and playing it.
That's right.
What'd you like about these first 3 games? What'd you do right?
I like the way we played. We played tough. We played hard. I think we learned how to focus even with adversity going on around us, whether it was coming from the stands or it was coming from the field. I think my kids understand that, we all we got, and we the only ones that we got to stick with when it comes to on Friday night.
What'd you not like? What do you need to work on?
The fundamental things. On offense side of the ball, offensive line, just sustaining blocks. I think we're good at the point of contact. We're just not finishing. Wide receivers got to catch more than they drop. And then on the defense side of the ball, we can't miss tackles, and we got to make sure we get lined up. Every time we got lined up and we done what we needed to do, the way that we was coached to do it, we always made great plays.
Yeah, and people forget, and I know they look back and say, well, you hadn't won a game yet, but in every one of those games, including the league game, which I saw, you made great plays, you had great moments. Yep. You got to sustain that.
You got to sustain that, especially when you're going against great teams. Like I said, the first 3 games that we went against, if you was in any other place besides Tyler, Texas, everybody would look at them and they'll say, hey, you know what, y'all done a great job, but the expectations here in Tyler, Texas, especially for John Tyler, is high. And we understand that, and we embrace it, and we don't run from it. So that's why we schedule the games that we schedule to get ready for money time.
Yeah, I was going to say, nobody has higher expectations than the coach himself and the players, right? Yours are better. I know the fans get pretty cranky at times, but their expectations don't even compare with yours, do they?
No, it doesn't compare. It doesn't compare with the football team, because their expectation of what they know that that they can do and what they have done up to this point hasn't matched up. And they understand that, so that's why they've been going out and they've been working their butts off and they've been getting things done.
Let's talk a little bit about the district. You grew up in a district that still had Marshall and Knack, and then Lee, John Tyler, Longview. I mean, it was a tough district in those days. Well, Marshall and Knack then dropped down, and JT stayed in 6A. But now you're kind of back in a district that has a little bit of that old style feel, doesn't it?
Oh, most definitely, because every week for the next 7 weeks is going to be tough. Every team in our district plays tough.
They're East Texas schools. Yeah.
They're all East Texas schools, besides the inner schools. They're more of the metroplex in East Texas. But everybody in our district is tough, and they're all playing for a position to make sure that they do have a third season, and the second season doesn't just end early.
It's always fun. We'll get to White House in more depth in a moment, but just a brief overview of what White House does.
They pass the ball very well. That's something Coach Cook has hung his hat on, and offensively they still doing that pretty well, even though they have a new quarterback. Backfield, pretty much same type of athletes, wide receivers, possession guys, and some of them do know how to stretch the field. And on the defense side of the ball, they play fundamental style football, and they make some good plays.
Make some plays. All right, the Lions, of course, played Plano, Longview, and, of course, the crosstown rivalry game with Robert E. Lee in non-district play. There were some real highlights during those games offensively and defensively, and Coach Holmes and his staff have put together a little montage of some of the plays from each of those games, and we'll take a look at it. Let's begin first with that Plano game on the road.
Yeah, a little swing out pass right here. Start out the first game on the road against a 6A opponent, Plano. That's James Allen catching that ball right there. James is a senior this year, first year on varsity. Been playing sub-varsity for the last 3 years, and he's making the best of his opportunity at the varsity level.
He plays a little bit of offense and defense for you, doesn't he?
He plays mainly offense, but he does a lot of special teams for us, too.
I remember him making a couple of plays in the league game, special teams wise.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He's a hard worker, and he's getting the job done. Great job by the defense right here. Being where we need to be and at the point of contact, making the play.
Yeah, here's a tighter look at that again.
Good job.
That's one of your DNs. Is that Guerrero who made that?
That was Guerrero and two sophomores, Guerrero and Dwayne Jones.
Now, Guerrero was hurt in the league game, was he not?
Yes, he was. He was actually coming off of his protocol for his concussion.
Okay, so he's okay now? He's good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Greg Guerrero, he's a sophomore. You got a young team too, Rickland.
Yeah.
A lot of young players out there.
I think our growing pains is almost over.
Okay.
We still got a lot of learning to do. We still got a lot of coaching to do. And we're going to get these kids ready to do something that's going to shock everybody except for the football team.
Bryson Smith improvising here.
Oh, yeah. He has some wheels, and he showed it right here, getting into the end zone, making some things happen with his feet.
That was your first touchdown of the year, a 60-yarder by Smith.
Yes, sir.
Tighter look at it. Again, he had some big shoes to fill, too. Not only that one, not two, it's been like 4 quarterbacks in a row before him that are all pretty good. Man.
Most definitely. And I think Bryson, he's learning week in and week out what it takes to be the quarterback at John Tyler High School, and he's getting better. The mistakes that he made in this game, he didn't make against Longview, and the mistakes he made against Longview, he didn't make against Lee. So we progressively turning into the quarterback that we're going to need him to be to lead us down the direction that we're going down.
He had 144 yards rushing in that Plano game. They wound up winning it on the road, but some stuff. Now you're back on defense. Had great coverage.
Pass breakup by safety and cornerback there.
If you're going to play secondary at this school, you got to be. You
got to be fast.
Well, and there's tradition in this secondary too, right? Been some pretty good players play DB for JT, including you.
Yep. And there's 2 of them back there making a play on the ball right now, Bryson Gibson and Jatavian Mosley. Mosley is a first-year varsity guy. He's a junior. So he'll be finishing up his season with us this year, and he also will be coming back. So that'd be a good thing.
End zone look at that play. Now back to a different look with your offense. Still in the Plano game. This is this Trey Warren or DeJuan Beal?
I believe it's DeJuan Beal right here. It's DeJuan getting his carry in and securing the ball.
What do you call that formation? Is it just a T formation type thing? What do you call
it? A diamond.
Diamond?
Yeah.
Okay.
And right there, that's the one getting some hard yardage out of that deal right there. Little
And
rocket screen play right here.
that's Damian Miller,
That's
right?
the Damian. Showing his speed and his versatility. See, like right there, the lineman kind of sitting there watching, looking, that's something that we had to work on during the bye week. That's something we had to work on after the Plano game. We got to make sure that we find people to go block and not just sit around and be, ticket takers.
Right. Hey, some of you got some skill guys though that it's fun to watch them though. You're just not if you're a player,
yeah,
right?
not if you're on the field. You can do that from the sideline.
All right.
Good defensive play right here by us. Great pressure up front by Pierre and Braylon and two defensive ends.
Now, what do you call Pierre and Braylon? One's the bear. What do you bulldog? What do you call them?
The pit bull and the bear.
There you go, pit bull and the bear. All right, 9 is the pit bull.
Yeah.
And number 52 is the bear,
He's
right?
the bear. He's the big bear. Those two guys right there, man, they do an amazing job for us as seniors this year. Same thing that they did last year as juniors, So, so what they're doing is meeting their expectations right now.
They got great expectations too. They've set the bar pretty high.
Oh, most
So
definitely.
they got to play good to meet those expectations.
This us against Longview at Rose Stadium. A game that didn't get off the way that we wanted to get off, with the clock not working and referees not showing them the type of caliber. But that's adversity. That's things that we got to learn to overcome. And I'm glad that these type of things happen to us early, because now when if it does happen to us again late, the kids will know how to respond to
By
that.
the way, I don't know if we said this, but Bill Kinney happened to be at home that night. He's in the Tyler officiating crew. He got a call at home, and he came out and officiated that game.
Yeah, and we appreciate him, man. We appreciate him, him and the rest of his crew that came with him, dropping what they were doing to help get this game going for us on Saturday.
That was Dontavian Gross, by the way, with that catch and run. Little defense here against those Lobos.
Yeah. This right here is an interception by Jentavian Mosley. Like I said, he's going to be a corner that's going to be a real good one for us this year and next year. So, and the preseason not only gets us ready for football, but it gets us ready camera-wise. As you notice on our wide view, it's a little bit better than it was during the Plano game. So every week we trying to get better in all areas. Of what we need done. So,
yeah, that was a good picture. All right, here they're trying to score and stuff.
Good job by the defense. All this right here starts up front. Linebackers coming off of the defensive line and making plays at the point of contact.
They got like 9 guys up on the line of scrimmage here, right?
It's that old school power football here. It's us against Lee right here. On the offense side of the ball.
A lot of points in that Robert E. Lee game, both sides of the ball.
Was. This is Trey Allison using his speed. Nice swing pass right here. I think guys done a great job on the edge blocking, sealing off guys. Basically, getting in the way so that this guy right here can use his speed and his ability.
Yeah, a little pop there. Because the Red Raiders had a little bit of an angle on him, and he just kind of outran
to the corner.
Absolutely. Trey's going to be a dandy for you.
Yep, he's a sophomore this year, so
number 28. Here he is, right here.
He can't do anything but get better from here on out.
Yeah.
On the defense side of the ball, going against a senior heavy Robert E. Lee offense, and they are explosive. Especially with the addition of the Thacker kid. I think with this team that they got right there, if they fix a couple of things they got on defense, they're going to be real competitive, not only in that district, but after district.
District. But you got him there, and again, of course, Zach Hall before his injury, and Thacker's in the backfield here, and again, he's got speed, so you run him down. What did the guys do right on this play? You get a better look at it.
We contained them. Right here, guys with this type of speed right here, you can't let them get to the edge on you, because if they get to the edge on you, 9 times out of 10, they're going to outrun you. So, they done a great job setting the edge, making him cut it back up inside, make that little jitter move, and give our guys time to, converge on the ball.
defense truly is a team game in today's game with all the spread offenses. Everybody has to do their job,
yes,
don't they?
Yes, it is. Everybody got to do their job. Everybody has to do their job.
Of course, the whole theory of the spread offense made one guy miss and you get big plays. Well, your task, as you look at this kickoff return, your task is to make sure that there's more than one guy with a chance to make a tackle, right?
Most definitely.
Now is this Duntavian?
And this
Gross?
Duntavian, man,
Yeah.
he's a senior that's given us everything that he got this year, just like he did his sophomore and his junior year. We expect a lot of big plays to come out of him, and he's doing it not just on offense, but he's doing it on special teams too.
He also had a big catch and run in this Robert E. Lee game. Sure, we'll see
Yes,
that.
he did.
But this is a kickoff return by a kid that they all call Dun Dun.
Dun Dun.
Even the Lee players who know him well call him Dun Dun. They just, he's a great kid. All right, here's the return again.
Good job reading your block, using his speed and ability, get to the edge, make a big play out of it.
Kind of see what the Lee kids were seeing here from the end zone, looking behind them. So
like I said,
get a feel for what it looks easier than it is. If you're up in the stands, well, this is kind of the way they saw it. They're running downfield from behind, trying to catch Duntavian Gross is easier said than done. Here you go.
I like the way that you hit it up in the middle, try to get everybody to converge like they did, and then knowing that your blockers are going to be setting the edge outside. That's a great job, great read, great team effort by the whole kickoff return team.
Here's your I formation at the goal line.
Little power running right here. Put Pierre at fullback, lead up there for the big tailback, Trey Allison. And he just keeps them feet churning and moving and gets in the end zone.
That was a tough run. That was still very early in the game. Motions are high, and he just refused to.
Great job.
Lee game again.
Pass play right here, Dun Dun.
Now this is the touchdown. Watch this. No way to coach this.
No, this is all them kids on the football field.
Now, Lee got flagged for a face mask. Didn't wipe. Obviously, was against the Red Raiders, but again, it starts out as a kind of a tunnel screen, right?
Yeah. Release everybody
One guy
on the
misses.
field.
Two guys miss.
Well, let's use your speed.
Actually, the second guy didn't miss. You just couldn't catch him.
Yeah.
They finally got a hand on him, and then once the foot race starts, you lose that race.
That's what happened when speed matches speed. Somebody got to outrun somebody.
Anyway, the first guy misses in the backfield here. And
right there.
Once that happens, then
he just kind of outran everybody else.
It's trouble. Big trouble. All right. So that was, again, just part of what turned out to be kind of an eventful start to the season. The first three non-district games, again, were all against on the road at Plano, a home game in the Classic against Longview, and then the home game against the Robert E. Lee Red Raiders at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. Coach Rickland Holmes is with us. While we've got a little time, and then we'll talk about White House, talk about what your sub-varsity teams are doing right now.
They're doing real well right now. They both started out the year, and they both beat Plano, the freshman A team, B team, and the JV team. Came back against Longview, and we got beat by Longview. But then they regrouped, they got back to what we do, and they had a sweep against the Lee teams at Rose Stadium. And they're practicing hard. They're giving us a great look on the scout team when we're using them.
Okay.
So as long as they continue to do what they're doing, the future for John Tyler looks bright.
Now, don't you have some new coaches at that level too?
Yes, at the freshman level, we have a couple of new coaches. Robert Spencer, he's an alumni, played at John Tyler, played in the secondary. Okay. Also played at UTEP.
I think I remember him.
Yeah, walked on. And earned a scholarship.
He's a young guy too, isn't he?
Earned a scholarship, just graduated. Promoted him to freshman football. He's doing a great job with those kids, motivating them, keeping them structured and disciplined. We brought an old face back, Jeremy Johnson. He's going to be coaching the varsity quarterbacks, but he's also working with the freshman quarterbacks and wide receivers at that.
And he wants to coach.
Level. He wants to coach.
Good.
He loves it. He loves it. He's enjoying it. He figured out he probably should have listened to me when he first graduated, and he didn't, stay into the league as long as he thought he did, and got into coaching a little bit
He
earlier.
got a look with a couple of teams, but just couldn't stick as a slot receiver. Had a great career at SMU, by the way.
A great career.
Great
career.
SMU.
A ton of highlights.
Oh, yeah.
At SMU.
Right.
So everybody knows who Jeremy Johnson is.
But he's coaching quarterbacks for you, too.
He
right?
is, and he's doing a great job. He's learning how to coach. Like he had to understand there's a difference between playing the game and coaching the game.
Yeah. Although he could get out there and
he can still get out there with him a little bit now. He still get out there a little bit now. He still got them young, fresh legs.
Oh, yeah.
So he can get after it.
Does he ever do that? Does he ever get out there and catch
he gets out there and he runs a couple of routes for the quarterbacks when, he wants them to see certain things that he wants them to throw. So he gets out there with him. He does, like I said, he's doing an amazing job.
This would be an NFL caliber kid out there coaching your guy. That's pretty good.
That's right.
That's kind of a bonus, isn't it?
That's a real bonus, and we emphasize that to the kids all the time. And let them know, hey, you got some guys out here that all have played at all levels, and not just me, not just Jeremy Johnson, but Coach Guthrie. Coach Guthrie played in the league for a long time, and he's also played at that level. Coach Blaylock, Coach Gay. We got a lot of guys on the staff that's not just play high school football, not just college football, but pro football.
Right, and. But Jeremy's good. Do the kids remember Jeremy as a quarterback at Johnson?
Oh, they all still remember him, and they all still remember what he done when he was there too. Yeah. So, needless to say, one of the guys that he's coaching that puts a little pressure on him.
Absolutely.
Bryson Smith, and then Edgar Rodriguez. He's a guy that was with us during the Rush era for a little while. He left, went on and became a principal. And now he's back as an administrator at John Tyler, but he's helping us with the freshman football team.
I don't know that we've talked much about your kickers this year, but I think your kickers, Salazar, the kicker, has done a really nice job. And is he punting for you too?
Devin does everything for us. He's the punter, he's the kickoff guy, he's the field goal guy, he's the jack of all trades. And he's doing a good job at it, and he's getting stronger, he's getting better. I think the nerve level has went down on him.
He's not a big kid. He's
not a big kid. And I think he's starting to understand what I tell him every day, what Coach Friend tells him every day is your job is to kick, it's not to tackle, it's not to block, it's to kick.
When you see, the way offenses and defenses are now, you have to spend so much time working against the spread offense. Just talk about the process of trying to build your special teams up to where you find a deep snapper, you find a holder, you find guys that can cover, that are motivated to get out there and cover those kicks, block for those kicks. Duntavian Gross had that long kickoff return. How much time do you spend on special teams?
You spend just as much time as you do on offense and defense. The way we slot our practice, it has the same amount of time as our individual time for offense and defense every day, because that's the third phase of the game. The game is broken up into three phases, and you can't just work 1 and 2 and not worry about 3, because at the end of the day, 3 could end up killing you or could end up keeping you alive.
Yeah, and you played special teams in the NFL.
Yes.
You know the importance of it,
The
right?
importance of it, that's the difference between getting the check and not getting the check sometimes. So everybody's not blessed enough to be a starter on offense or defense, but you want to be a guy that helps contribute to your team, and you can help in that third phase with your special team, because you can't start a game without receiving or kicking off the ball.
And you can sure get beat on special teams if they're not working, right?
Especially if you're not paying attention and you ain't worked it well enough for it to happen. That's kind of like back in 2012 when we done all them onside kicks to come back in that football game against Denton Guyer. That's something that we worked every day in practice. Even at the end of each special team practice, hey, let's get a couple of onside kicks in. Let's get a couple of hands teams out there, because we didn't want it to happen. What happened against Plano East happened to us again later on down the line.
I was reminded of that game again Saturday night when Gerard Hurd was lighting it up for Texas against Cal. You played Hurd.
Yeah,
I think
special kid.
Was that 2012?
That's 2012.
Yeah, in the state semifinals, and recovered 3 straight onside kicks to take the lead in the game. Anyway, in the end, they wound up coming back to win, but that was a great football game. So special teams are a big deal. You'll need all that going forward in this district too, won't you?
You're going to need it. You're going to need it to take care of these last 7 games and to put us in a position to accomplish one of our 3 goals, which is the district championship. We got to bring that back home.
White House is a throwing football team, primarily, aren't they?
They love slinging it around, and Coach Cook does a great job getting those kids together. With the success that they've continuously been having in 7-on-7 in the summer, you know how well they throw the ball.
Has this become you haven't been playing White House that long, but in a short period of time, because they've had their period where they were good, you've always been good. This talk about the rivalry. It's become a rivalry.
It's a rivalry, and you have to say that it's a rivalry because we're not district opponents. We've been district opponents for the last several years now.
Right.
So the importance of our game is a little bit more in depth than it is like the league game because this is for district standings.
Right.
This has nothing to do with your overall record. This has nothing to do with bragging rights. This has everything to do with your position.
Playing in November.
That's right, your position within your district. So this game is just as important as any other game.
The rest of the district, can you talk a little bit about what you've observed so far from schools like Knack and Lindale and Ennis and Corsicana and Lufkin, and who am I overlooking?
They just as good as we evaluate them after the first 3 games. They've done a lot of great things on offense, defense. Some of them have real good special teams. Some of them are still struggling in the special teams area, but their offense and their defense is taking up for that right now. Our district is tough. District 16 5A is not going to be a pushover. And the 4 teams that come out of this district that make it to the playoff, whether it's the number 1 seed or the number 4 seed, I expect all 4 of them or us to go deep in the playoffs.
And remember, last year, of course, you made the state semifinals. Ennis was in the other classification, and they won the state champ. So you've got a state champion program and a team that got to the Final Four, in this same district.
Yeah, this district's tough.
So that's a pedigree is what I'm talking about there, right?
That's right. And,
schools that are used to winning.
Schools that are used to
winning.
winning.
Yeah.
And, our competition level is going to be high every week. From this first district game all the way to the last district game, it's going to be football played on Friday nights.
And Knack's pretty good too this year.
They are. They're very talented. They got a new turf field.
Okay.
So we don't have to go down there and play on the grass.
All right. And Lufkin, of course, we saw what they did. Lee got out to that huge lead. Lufkin's explosive. They came back and won that game.
Tough.
So we know they can move the ball.
They can do that. They can move the ball, and they're tough, competitive kids.
Yeah.
And that's what our district is. Our district is tough and competitive.
And Lindale has played pretty well so far this year.
Well, Lindale has always been a very competitive team, and they've always had success in a lot of different areas. It just seems like this year they're kind of putting everything together, and they're coming up with some good quality wins.
And you know that John Tyler would be in their bullseye. That would be a big deal. You're going to get their best shot,
I think we're in
aren't you?
everybody's bullseye right now. So, it's like, when you're on the top of the hill and everybody's looking up at you, everybody can't wait for you to roll down so they can roll up.
You're still that program that teams, boy, we beat John Tyler.
Yeah.
You know that. Your kids, I'm sure you made your kids well. You're going to be everybody's game of the year most
Everybody's
of the time,
game of
aren't
the
you,
year.
in this district?
Everybody, not just in this district, but in preseason also, and when we make the playoffs. Everybody wants to beat us, and that's understandable. With the success that this program has had over the years, with the many coaches that's been through here, that's a tribute to the community and how they embrace not only the football team but the campus, and then the students and the football players that play for this program year in and year out. That's what they're doing. That's what they're putting on the football field on Friday. That's what they're doing to win on Friday. They're getting coached well Monday through Thursday, and they're going out there and they're producing on Friday.
All right, good luck.
Appreciate it.
So the gauntlet has been thrown down. District play begins this Friday night for the Lions at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium at Earl Campbell Field against the White House Wildcats. 7:30. Lions need and deserve your support. Go Cujo. For Coach Holmes, I'm Bill Coates. Thanks for joining us.